It's another one of those projects where you're cramming 10 pounds into a 5-pound bag, really. This velocity stack is a piece of history right here. That was off my EF. I had that thing on there forever. That's the one that's on the cover of the Honda Tuning magazine. I gutted the headlights of the bulbs and the wiring. I really wanted to put OEM lights. This is a whole carbonetics 3-piece front end that we've modified a little bit at the bottom just to make it a little bit more our own. But I just like to separate things that we do from the rest of the community. So the car now has the whole Magnus catalog in it. All the dry sump stuff, all the fueling stuff, all the clutch and drivetrain stuff, the motor.
Magnus, stage 14.5, race engine.
So this is ready to go. Look, it's even got the chain on it still. Force Performance Turbo. A nice big beautiful 80 mil here. The turbo did get solid mounted to the chassis. Magnus Mandingo pipe. Pretty good, yes. The calculations called for 4-inch. That was a joke like in 2004. The Viper stuff just makes you feel like you know what you're doing when you weld it. Can we get closer? Half of it's stainless and half of it's titanium. Like there was a few iconic things. If you've ever seen this car with the whole front end off, when you look at it, like you know that was Magnus's Talon. So I didn't want to get away from that. Charge pipe is the same layout, but fresh. I like this new Turbo Smart blow-off valve. Gives us the option to open the valve when we go onto the 2-step. It's difficult for a 4-cylinder motor to spool an 80 mil, so this will help us hopefully get the turbo up to speed. And the turbo manifold is the original one because it's good. So if you really want to get your mind blown, have a look at that 19 Fish and Chips HKS wastegate, bro. It should be in a museum. New dry sump tank. These are the ones that we make. I put a nice heater in the dry sump tank so we can warm that oil up. Put some heat in your motors. That's the joke. Never had a splitter before, so I wanted to put a splitter and then obviously some vent area for the rad fan. That's one of these filters. That's one of our big inline pre-pump filter, but with the lack of space that we have here, instead of having a second big unit, you can't get any to the pump. Then out of the pump, it'll go through its next post filter, and then that'll go to your fuel rails and feed some big injectors. Because if you do have engine failure early on, the bits are going to end up in the top under the clear glass there, and you can see, oh shit, we got a problem. I did a whole nice new catch pan. All brand new brakes, new rotors, new pads, new spill plates on the spoiler. All the mounting of the rear bumper, that was loose as a goose. New wicker, big tall wicker. Try to really push the front end. So when I mentioned that I really stiffened up the rear bumper, you used to be able to grab this spoiler and it would flop. Now you grab the spoiler, oh, it's not locked in. I guess we should maybe put that down if I'm gonna do that. It'll actually push the car to the ground. A nice new launcher chute. And then I did all titanium bracketry to hold it. And underneath the bumper is all titanium bracketry too. The side skirts are all held on by titanium bracket. Hood hinges are titanium that I made. A little lighter, a little stronger. Watchman out. I put a crazy Pro Mod anti-roll bar in the back of this thing. If you ever watch videos of these cars, they like to do that left and right dance all the way down the track. And hopefully the cage upgrade stiffness, we should be able to limit a lot of the chassis flex. I second, third guessed everything that I was doing because you took a man's car and the last thing you want to do is make a change to it that's not going to work in it or his favor. Interior, I made a bunch of changes. I left room for a nice big nitrous bottle. Right here, 300 shot, 400 shot, all the shot. Seats all remounted nice. If you look at the floor, you notice that there's no bars inside the car. I wanted all the floor bars underneath the car, so that posed its own set of issues and trying to still plumb all the necessary gauge into it. Magnus air freshener, gotta be in there, all times. Just Marco's pride and joy shifter here with 1-2 lockout, strain gauge, so I'll be able to do clutchless shifts. The car's got 4-wheel speed sensor, so that's good data. Carbon Kevlar drive shaft. 3000 GT rear end, Marco's crazy idea, custom rear subframe with the cantilever shock. Does this look like an individual who has been suffering at the hands of an unruly warden? I don't think so. This guy's been having fun. This guy's buff as shit.